What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Cycle Fanatic Halftime Show. Matt Van Winkle, Jared Stansbury here to break down the first half. Round two of Iowa State versus Kansas, tied at 24 at the break. Want to thank our sponsors, Fareway Meat and Grocery and Ames and Des Moines Eye Care. Count on them for eye care for the whole family. Jared, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, dude. How are you doing?
Yeah, you know what? A lot different of a first half, a lot different game than what shaped out in Lawrence earlier this week. We were talking a little bit earlier, man. The turnovers, obviously the big issue. As we'll bring in the box score here quick. 15 turnovers in the first half, but Kansas really didn't turn that into any points. I mean, that was kind of the big thing. It was mainly just a lot of missed opportunities for Iowa State to kind of extend that lead. Man, they led for 19 minutes and 19 seconds of the first half, and obviously tied going into the break. But give me your thoughts in the first half, man.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what's I don't know the best way to I don't know that it's encouraging or discouraging. Like I don't even know what to really say because I mean you turned the ball over 15 times, you had a pretty sizable lead, but like you also went through a stretch where I think they scored one time after going 2.5 minutes without scoring, and then they didn't score in the last 3:07 of the first half, but. I mean, I think you got to give some credit to Kansas defensively because those guys are really getting after it. Everything for Iowa State, even when they've gotten looks at shots, like they've been tough looks. Iowa State was 7 of 10, and then made only 2 of their last 10 shots in the half. But I mean, I feel
on the flip side, though, you got to give Iowa State some credit defensively. I mean, they came out with a lot more energy than the last game. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, Kansas was just missing some easy shots too that were falling earlier in the week when they played. But sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. I felt like Iowa State probably played one of their better halves defensively. It just seemed
that's
like
what we were saying, yeah.
And like, I mean, and I said this on the pregame show. You know, the thing I wanted to see from these guys, I wanted to see them come out and compete because I thought that really was lacking on Thursday night. Was just that competitive fire that they needed to be able to keep themselves even. Remotely in that game.
Well, especially considering the way they played the couple of games before that, where we were consistently seeing them show that intensity throughout those games against some tough opponents. And I mean, Kansas is obviously having a down year, but man, I don't think any of us saw a 30-plus point loss in Lawrence. But yeah, I think the way they came out today was refreshing, and you heard Prohm say it, in the post game. He's like, I know our guys have it in them to play better than what they did down there. So, man, I don't know. I mean, they still have a lot to clean up in the second half, but going into the break tied against Kansas is, I mean, for as many turnovers as they had in that game, and not allowing Kansas to go on any crazy runs like they've given up to some teams this year is a win, I'd say. But man, so many missed opportunities, a lot of points left on the floor.
I mean, realistically, when you turn the ball over 45.5% of your possessions, like you're not going to win ball games that way.
No.
No. Which, like, again, like that's where you got to give Iowa State some credit because I felt like even defensively, Kansas missed some shots that they probably make a lot of times. But I mean, that game Thursday night was probably their best offensive performance of the year. So, like, who knows how good of an indication that really even was. But I mean, I think that Iowa State has made it difficult for them, and that's where the competing and things like that, I think, really comes into play. Is it's just like making it to where the other team isn't just getting easy things all the time. And it felt like on Thursday night they just got easy stuff over and over again. And but man, if they
rebound, they 20-16 won the rebound margin in the first half. I mean, that's saying something, and that's why you're still in this game, I think, in part, right?
Well, and shout out to Solomon Young, man. I mean, that's a guy that I challenged after the TCU game Tuesday night, and then on Thursday, like. It just hasn't been there, like he just hasn't been there in crashing the boards and doing what he needs to do. And like, I know that their half court offense gets a lot worse when he's not on the floor, but like it's hard to justify playing him if he's not going to crash the boards, because you can't get out and run, which is when their offense is at the best, when they can't clear out the defensive possessions. So I thought that he did a lot better job of that during this first half. I mean, if they can clean up these turnovers just a little bit, I feel like they're
Yeah.
going to have an opportunity. I can't imagine Kansas will shoot 28% from the field again.
I was just gonna say that they're gonna hit a few threes. I mean, you need to keep matching them in that end. I mean, what'd they go? Was it 5 for 25 against Kansas in that last game from three for Iowa State? So, I mean, they're already over halfway there for matching that.
They only attempted 5 of them. Like,
I know. That's big. I mean, it's showing you. I mean, they only scored 24 points, but they're getting it in other ways.
Right, and I don't know. The lower scoring this game stays, like I don't even know whose benefit that is to, because I think Kansas is, if it's a defensive battle, like I'm probably going to take Kansas in something like that. I mean, Iowa State has to figure out a way to be able to get out and transition and get some things that way. But that's where you're really seeing them turn the ball over, is when they are getting those chances to get out and run. Take better care of the ball. Keep trashing the boards, and like you're going to give yourself an opportunity. I mean, it's hard to not sit here and be encouraged by what we just saw, though. I mean, that was considerably better than Thursday night. I mean, a completely better flip 180. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, you led for nearly the entire half, but man, the disappointing thing is that you couldn't make more opportunities out of Kansas's poor shooting. I mean, that's kind of what it came down to. But you'd like to have a bigger lead, or a lead at least, going into the half the way that you played, especially defensively against Kansas. And again, the way that their poor shooting, you would have liked to have capitalized on that a little bit more.
That shows where your margin of error is, though, with this team. I mean, it's just so small, like to win games like this, like they just don't have much room to mess up. It takes the other team playing really poorly, which like Kansas has not played well, especially offensively. They've taken some dumb shots, but man,
I think if they can come out with that same intensity that they came out with in this game, that they're going to hang there to the end. I mean, I think this is a chance.
Yeah,
they will. Yeah, and it's not. I feel like in the first half down in Lawrence, I mean, they played okay. It wasn't great basketball. It wasn't great by either team, but Kansas really put their foot on the gas in the second half. So. I think this team.
You didn't see them compete on the defensive end that same way.
No.
Like Kansas got so many more open shots than what they did than what they did today, and like you could have been more in that game. I think they were down 11 at halftime on Thursday, and if you compete this way, like maybe it is a single digit deficit or something like that. So it's like if they can maintain that, and that's going to be my concern now. I mean, Iowa State is by no means deep, So can you maintain that intensity level for 40 minutes? And you hope that nobody gets into foul trouble. I think Rozier has 2. Does anybody else have 2?
Let's see. Bolton's got 2 and Javen's got 2. Okay. So other than that, you're in pretty good shape. So yeah, I'd like to see Bolton stay out of foul trouble because he's going to be key down the stretch. But
he's had a tough time with that lately, man. Cannot stay out of foul trouble.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he got called for that offensive foul.
That was a bad call.
It was kind of shady, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad call.
Yeah.
But no, man. I mean, I think they're going to have an opportunity here, and it's can you maintain that intensity level for the remainder of the game? And if you can, then you're going to be in this thing to the very end. It's going to be a dogfight, but it's going to come down to who can make plays in the final minutes. But and I think you even saw maybe where they ran out of gas a little bit there at the end of the first half. Got to figure out a way to get your legs back under you and get some more offense. I mean, it's going to be tough, but I think that they've got to. Yeah, Sean says too much standing on offense. I mean, that's just like. That's Kansas, man. Like they're just playing with such intensity on defense, like that. But that's this league, dude. Like some of these teams just get out and get up under you, man, and it makes it tough to do anything on offense and take care of better care of the ball. And I guess we'll see. But I do feel better just because of the fact that these guys are out there and are competing.
Yeah, cut those turnovers in half. Make a few more threes, compete defensively. I think are going to be some of the keys in the second half. Right, Jared, appreciate you, man. Yep. Let's pull for these guys. They need a win in the worst way. So, good to see Tyrese too in the half. That was kind of a fun interview. Shout out to Tyrese. But yeah, enjoyed that interview. Appreciate you, Jared. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again to our sponsors, Fareway Meat and Grocery and Ames and Des Moines Eye Care. Jared, you're going to have a wrap after this game, an instant reaction.
Yep, I will. I'll be
Sounds
getting
good.
all that stuff done as soon as I can.
All right, look for that. CyclingFanatic.com, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you get your content. Appreciate you guys watching. Enjoy the second half.